Hello. Welcome to Wake Up Less Anxious with Jim. The goal of this podcast is that after listening to each short episode, you feel a little less anxious. If you're experiencing anxious thoughts, crippling doubts, and any uncomfortable feelings, this podcast is for you. Here, I will be sharing some quick and easy tips to deal with all your uncomfortable feelings. Promise, hindi siya mabigat because, dealing with anxiety is hassle enough as it is. So, it's going to be a light conversation and I hope these tips will help. Please support by going to bit.ly/lessanxious and joining our newsletter. Check.
Yeah, therapy.
We have a special guest. An unpaid special guest.
Happy to be here. This is priceless.
Hindi to magiging wake up
So, shut up ako, ganun.
Medj.
Okay.
You're just
Got it.
You're just here for the pretty face.
Thank you. I'll take it.
But there's no video to take your pretty face.
Anyway.
Kidding. Relax. I'm kidding kasi baka
What?
baka atakihin ng mga tao.
Labo.
Anyway, this episode, what I wanted to, something that's been super helpful for me is called the loop of anxiety. And it's sorry, mali agad.
You told me about that.
Yeah, the cycle of anxiety. So, and it's so applicable to, so I'll tell, this is the format kasi of, sorry. This is the format of itong Finding Happy. I give a tool or I'll share something basically, and then I give my personal experience, and then how can they use that for, parang kumbaga,
Great.
use it in their lives. So ito, first, you have an anxious thought, okay? So the cycle is anxiety, avoidance, short-term relief from that anxiety, and therefore magkakaroon ng long-term anxiety growth. Repeat. Anxiety, avoidance, short-term relief from anxiety, and therefore magkakaroon ng long-term anxiety growth. Okay? So, of course, yung anxiety, it's it's a situation. It leads you to super weird symptoms, like you get worried, you get scared, you sweat, whatever. Avoidance, skipping school, not going to work, vaping, alcohol to numb feelings, vices basically, procrastinating on challenging tasks. Those are samples of that avoidance. And then yung short-term relief, magkakaroon ka talaga ng immediate sense of relief. Kuwari, let's say when you vape, right? Because you get a hit of that nicotine, you're numbing your emotions. Parang that hit, it serves the anxiety caused by, this is too confusing.
No, I get it.
You get it?
Yes.
Kasi, anyway, this is how I quit vaping, is when I realized that the sarap of nicotine is just addressing the problem that it itself caused. Okay?
Because the nicotine causes anxiety.
Yeah, parang I thought na you have withdrawal from nicotine, 6 hours after you vape. No, it's actually like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
After your last puff.
Was that accurate what I said? Nicotine causes anxiety, or hindi naman necessarily anxiety? It
Not
causes...
necessarily. The nicotine, because you get addicted, the craving causes anxiety. When you vape,
Pag nawawala siya.
you heal that anxiety. So
Okay,
therefore, it's
got
a
it.
loop. It's
Got
in
it.
a similar way. Kaya I want to share. If you don't vape, that's the point of itong. That's the point of this whole thing. Na parang you have an anxious thought, you try to numb it, you get relieved, but actually you're building more anxiety, and that's exactly what happened to me. Every time I was stressed, every time I'd be anxious or I'd have like a panic attack or whatever, I needed to get my vape. I needed the time that I was smoking cigarettes, I'd smoke. Because it would give me temporary relief. And therefore, ano nangyari? Lumala yung anxiety ko. I never addressed my issues. I never addressed that I had trauma. I never addressed that, there was shit in my childhood that I never dealt with. So, yun, that's one thing that I've done. For another thing, Like when I was working, I would be anxious, and then I'd go drinking. How else can we manage our anxiety? I recommend the Mind You platform. That's genuinely reshaping how we approach mental wellness. They offer low-cost talk therapy sessions, but what I really appreciate is that Mind You offers a free toolkit for your mental well-being. From a community forum to a guided journal, a mood tracker, and even educational podcasts and articles, Mind You is a game changer in making professional help reachable and accessible. Download the Mind You app from the App Store or Play Store and explore a world dedicated to mental wellness. Like when I was working, I would be anxious, and then I'd go drinking, right? Wasak, saya, tawa, and then I never dealt with, oh my God, my quarter life crisis. Oh my God, is this really what I want? Why am I so angry at supervision? Why am I angry at control? Maybe it's a parental thing, so may ganon. And I never got to, if you keep avoiding these things, you'll never get to the bottom of it, and therefore you'll never fix it.
Yeah.
Kaya what happened to me, which I'll talk more about on this podcast, is I really became a volcano. That's how my therapist described me. Na I am always on, put a band-aid on it, and then sooner or later may mga puputok at may lalabas, right? So
if I may, sorry, I know it's your podcast.
Go.
If I may, just to let other people also relate to this, kung wala, if it's not vaping or smoking or drinking, because those things seem like, really bad vices. But then something that probably everyone does is doom scrolling.
Yun,
and
exactly.
That's awful. I mean, I'm not judging you because I do it too. Pero that is something that I think is relatable to a lot of people.
Good point. Buti na lang I got you on the show.
Thank you. Would you like me to be your co-host? No.
I can't afford you. Anyway.
You're gonna have to book me. I'll send you my agent's number.
So, what happens is, si Saab, she gets anxious. She has an anxious thought. Let's say, for example, kids are sick, right? So
it's exactly what happened to me today.
Yeah. So they're, instead of, it's not vaping or whatever, but she ends up going into a rabbit hole, like talagang doom scrolling. And then in that moment, yes, because it's dopamine, you get a dopamine rush.
Have you explained what dopamine is?
I will sooner or later. But parang it's instant gratification, basically.
It's a high.
It's a high. Like why people like video games, people like vices, you get a dopamine hit, but the thing is you crash.
Yeah.
Exactly, the same thing na naman. So si Saab will doom scroll. In that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm numbing it. I'm not feeling it. I'm still, Kim Kardashian, whatever. Whatever, churba.
Yeah.
But you never address that. Why is it that every time the kids get sick, I have this major anxiety attack, right?
Yeah.
Parang you never deal with those things. So, in the next episode, I'm going to share how you can actually start breaking the cycle. Yeah. So, the first step is actually knowing that there is a cycle. Sorry na, samid daw sa cinnamon. I've been drinking a tea at night. Solid yung samid.
Thank you for giving that context.
And therefore,
otherwise...
yan. Like we can do it now.
Yeah, okay.
We can do the cycle now.
Sure, okay.
Let's say this was live. Okay? And I was like, oh my God, nasasamid ako. Right? Or like post-COVID world, right?
Yeah.
You can't cough. If you cough, you'll. So, let's say we were doing this interview live, kunwari, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm nasasamid ako. Oh my God, mapapahiya ako. I can never face this person again. So, anxious thought. Ano yung mga modes of avoidance? Obviously, hindi naman ako parang during an interview, iinom ako. Diba? Or like, hindi rin
Pwede ka uminom ng tubig.
or like, technically, sorry, before the interview pala. Or let's say, ang point ko is like, let's say, you'd probably doom scroll or you'd probably just go reeling into yun nga, that anxious thought. Like you keep thinking like what the worst possible thing would happen. Yun, and then pero in my case before, I would like punta akong banyo, mag-vape ako.
Yeah.
I doom scroll. I do.
Because you think like you've got a cough.
I have to
really
calm
bad.
down. Yeah, I have to calm down because I'm getting anxious thoughts. Shit.
Yeah.
I get relief, but I don't deal with why does it matter na parang ano yung impression ko sa tao. Parang why does it matter so much? Like bakit ako takot na takot anong impression ng tao sa akin?
Yeah.
So that's the cycle. And being aware of the cycle is the first step.
Yeah.
And then I'll go into I'll be sharing in the next episodes
Yeah.
stuff how to break the cycle.
Nice.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.